On the news, Lawan loses senatorial seat as INEC confirms Mashina winner of APC Yobe North senatorial ticket. Fuel scarcity persists in Abuja as black market operators sell double the official price. And federal government uncovers 70,000 ghost workers in civil service system. Well, many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has confirmed Basha Mashina as the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, for Yobe North Senatorial District. The electoral body also dissociated itself from the emergence of Senate President Hamad Lawan as the party's candidate for the Senatorial District. The APC had earlier uploaded Lawan's name on the INEC portal as the party's senatorial candidate for Yobe Zone C. There were also speculations that he was being asked to step down for Senate President Hamad Lawan, who currently represents the district. And now to Abuja, where long queues occasioned by the scarcity of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, has resurfaced in most filling stations in the nation's capital. Our correspondent Emeka Amako will monitor the development. Reports that motorists now spend endless hours in filling stations in a bid to get fuel. Also, many residents depend on the black market to purchase the product, which now sells for double the official pump price of 165 naira per litre. Some residents who spoke to TV360 news crew in Abuja are calling for the resuscitation of the local refineries as well as adequate management of critical infrastructure in the country.
To remedy the situation, actually the Nigerian government has to get it right by fixing the NNPC. The NNPC are in place, bringing them come and let them be functional. If they are functional, I think we'll have a better supply. So we won't be having shortage of fuel or supply in the country.
All of us are suffering it, and it's very, very unbearable in this country. The other time somebody was talking of fuel subsidies, where I said, what is this subsidy all about? The subsidy is because our government are not telling us the truth. The subsidy is not because of the fuel they are bringing up from outside. If we build our own refinery here, automatically the subsidy is gone. So they should build our own refinery. The money they are spending for subsidy, if they are telling us the truth.
A time like this is not a time to sit down in the office. It's a time to go out to see stations and to make things right. We are suffering. What must we suffer for what we have? We cannot get fuel in a station, but look around everywhere. There are black market everywhere. Where are they getting it for if there's no fuel?
About 70,000 civil service ghost workers have been identified and eliminated from the federal government's payroll through the help of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPPIS. The Director General, Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Dasuki Arabi, made this known at the 43rd session of the ministerial briefing organized by the Presidential Communication Team at the Presidential Villa in Abuja on Thursday. He also revealed that the government has saved at least 220 billion naira via IPPIS, adding that about 10 trillion naira has also been saved through the Treasury single account since it was fully implemented by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration.
We have driven a process of transformation to improve access to government services, to improve the quality of life of citizens of this country, to improve transparency, and give the citizens the opportunity to participate in governance. As I'm talking to you, some agencies of government in Nigeria have already reached that level of world class. There is never a month that will pass that we don't receive a delegation coming from outside Nigeria to come and study how Nigeria reformed its tax system, how Nigeria is implementing treasury single accounts, how Nigeria is implementing IPPIS, and many. Now, we have picked agencies of government that have reached that stage: Inland Revenue Service, Security and Exchange Commission, Corporate Affairs Commission, and many others. So if we have those building blocks coming together closer, we are confident that by the year 2025, we'll be where we are supposed to.
The Nigerian Senate has proposed a bill for the establishment of the National Commission on Child Destitution in Nigeria. Sponsor of the bill, Senator Wamako, while leading the debate on the general principle of the bill, said the commission, when established, will revamp the Almajiri education system in Nigeria. Wamako further explained that the Boko Haram insurgency has aggravated the menace of child destitution, hence the need to rehabilitate the victims as well as prohibit the menace of child destitution in the country. The bill, after consideration, was referred by the Senate President Hamad Lawan to the Committees on Establishment and Public Service Matters for further legislative action.
These destitute children are out of school. And according to UNICEF, available UNICEF statistics, there are over 10.5 million out of school children in Nigeria. Of this number of children in the country, 60% are in the north. It is no wonder then that given the ecological problem of desertification and other rural-urban drifts in the north, groups like the Boko Haram, killers army of uneducated, hopeless and rejected youth to recruit from.
It's because of child destitution. Most of the people that are involved in banditry, insurgency, and kidnapping is due to child destitution. If you have proper upbringing at home, there is no way you can engage in these vices. As for this reason, Mr. President, I support the second reading of this very important bill.
Parental care is a responsibility that should not and ought not to be outsourced. A trend that is largely responsible for the numerous street children that we have in our nation today. The sponsor of the bill has quoted about 10.5 million out-of-school children, or what we call street children, and 60% of that number are in the north. And it is very necessary that this issue has to be addressed.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Commission for the Eradication of Child Destitution in Nigeria and for other matters connected there with 2022 second reading taken. And bill is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for further legislative action to report by within 4 weeks.
The Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, has once again assured that Nigerians stand to gain immensely from the fifth-generation technology once deployed in the country. Executive Chairman of the NCC, Umar Dampata, gave the assurance on the sidelines of the 90th edition of the Telecom Consumer Parliament, which took place in Lagos. Speaking on the opportunities and challenges posed when deployed, the NCC Vice Chairman maintained that the benefits of 5G by far outweighs the downsides. Our correspondent Simi Saladigun tells us more in this report.
For more than 4 decades, wireless technology has gone through an evolution, with the world now ready to launch the 5th generation spectrum. Determined not to be left behind, Nigeria is set to roll out the 5G technology by August this year. At the 90th edition of the Telecom Consumer Parliament, the chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Umar Dampata, said the deployment of the 5G spectrum would further accelerate the growth of Nigeria's broadband services.
The opportunities presented by 5G, we all know them, courtesy of the 3 usage scenarios. All of us are conversant with. The first one is enhanced mobile broadband services or applications, if you like. Number 2 is ultra low latency applications, which will be driven by the millimeter waves that we've just spoken about. And of course, the massive machine type communications that will be included. The goal of the Commission is that Nigeria becomes one of the leading nations with 5G deployed in a manner that is beneficial to all stakeholders and to contribute maximally to the digital economy policy of the federal government of Nigeria.
Although the invention is set to bring about an enormous impact on the global economy to the tune of over $13 trillion, not everyone shares the same sentiment. Myths and misinformation about the 5G spectrum had intensified, especially during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. But the government has reassured that 5G network is safe.
There are a lot of apprehension, and this is not only in Nigeria, all over the world. And ever since mobile technology was, introduced, people have been complaining. But the truth is, there are no scientifically proven, genuine, research that has shown any, adverse impact on human. Because it was, human safety is one of the key priorities in the design of the technology itself in the first place.
On the subject of affordability, the NCC says competition will make 5G network costs flexible, which will subsequently force down the price and bring about a good profit margin.
We are hoping that, like every other technology that has come into the telecom space, that now with more people talking about accessibility and affordability, that people who are into production of these devices will also put in place how they take into consideration those that are in the lower rank of the populace of the society. As NCC or the telecom regulator, we are looking at so many other areas how we can begin to bring things to the local level.
As the 5G expansion occurs rapidly, the federal government says it is targeting 70% of broadband penetration in Nigeria at not more than 390 naira per gigabyte by 2025. Simisola Jigun, TV360, Lagos.
The Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, has called for more accountability and transparency in the Nigerian extractive sector. The Executive Director, Awal Rafsanjani, made the call in Lagos during a consultative forum on legal framework review in the extractive sector. Rafsanjani explained that while the extractive sector is very important for the country in revenue generation, corruption and the lack of accountability has undermined the sector.
There has been absence of transparency and accountability in the oil and gas sector in Nigeria, and that is why we felt it is important that if we all consider oil and gas and solid mineral as a very important revenue for the country, we must make it to be more transparent, more accountable. A lot of communities have suffered degradation. A lot of communities have suffered from their means of livelihood as a result of the extractive activities, whether it is solid mineral or oil and gas exploration. And therefore, we struggle to make sure that we have a new law, petroleum industry law, that can help bring more efficiency, more accountability, more caring for communities. And so far, the law has been passed.
If you look at the reform in the acts, besides government trying to bring in investors, government is trying to also ensure that the taxpayers pay the right taxes. For the oil and gas industry, oil is exclusively to the federal government. Taxes from oil goes to the federal government. So you pay your taxes through FRS to the federal government. And the beauty of the Petroleum Industry Act is that most of the leakages that were in the previous acts, this particular act tends to correct it.
The Skill Project has the mandate to build the capacity of local organizations in Nigeria so that they can push policy reforms at all levels, all sectors in the country. We're currently working with over 17 organizations that are made up of clusters of CSOs across the country. So, and I think with these conversations, and the idea is for them to be able to collaborate, actors and non-state actors, to be able to push those policy reforms.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, federal government begins implementation of 10 naira per litre excise duty on carbonated drinks. Details of the story and more right after this break.
resilience. Look at you, still standing after adverse politics stopped your electric power purchase from powering our city. Still standing after adverse politics denied our city and your government revenue allocation for years. But you diligently turned it around and made our city self-sufficient and left a legacy of urban renewal and prosperity till this day. Now you emerge tops with magnanimity and victory. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, fight for us in the spirit of resiliency to deliver Nigeria from poverty and insecurity. The indomitable economic development agent Nigeria needs. Now, watch this space.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has finally confirmed Bashir Sharif Mashina as the authentic candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC for the Yobe Zone C Senatorial District. The electoral body also dissociated itself from the emergence of Senate President Hamad Lawan as the party's candidate for the senatorial district. The APC had earlier uploaded Lawan's name on the INEC portal as the party's senatorial candidate for the Yobe Zone C. We also told you that about 70,000 civil service ghost workers have been identified and eliminated from the federal government's payroll through the help of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPPIS. The Director General, Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Dasuki Arabi, made this known also revealed that government has saved at least 220 billion naira via IPPIS, adding that about 10 trillion naira has also been saved through the Treasury single account since it was fully implemented by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. But in case to miss any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log onto our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. A recent study has shown that COVID-19 vaccines prevented the deaths of nearly 20 million people in the first year after they were introduced. The study, published in the Lancet Infectious Diseases, is based on data from 185 countries and territories collected from December 8, 2020 to December 8, 2021. It is the first attempt to estimate the number of deaths prevented directly and indirectly as a result of COVID-19 vaccinations. The International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies has received $350,000 from Coca-Cola Foundation to accelerate vaccination for Nigerians against COVID-19. The Coordinator, Communications and Advocacy of the Society, Chima Nwankwo, disclosed this in a statement released on Thursday in Abuja. According to him, the mobilization campaign will create public enlightenment messages about the benefits of taking the vaccine and also help interested persons find a vaccination site closest to them. Well, we'll take a breather here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world. A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Abisola Adebayo now joins us for more story in business. Over to you, Bisola.
Thank you very much, Folashade. Welcome to Business News. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, has called on the federal government of Nigeria and the governments of other countries to work closely with the aviation industry to ensure that aviation and incumbent aviation safety systems safely coexist with the new 5G services. The call came as the global airline industry met in Doha, Qatar for its 78th annual general meeting. The organization spoke against the backdrop of flight disruptions caused by the recent deployment of 5G services by telecommunication companies in the United States and planned by Nigeria and other countries to deploy 5G services in the coming months. According to IATA, robust testing in coordination with aviation subject matter experts is critically important in providing necessary information, adding that maintaining current levels of safety of passengers, flight crews and aircraft must continue to be one of the government's highest priorities. Meanwhile, the federal government has begun the implementation of a 10 naira per litre sugar tax on carbonated sugar drinks and beverages, which is expected to help combat non-communicable diseases. This was disclosed by the Chief Superintendent of Customs, Department of Excise, Free Trade Zone and Industrial Incentives, Dennis Ituma, at a meeting organized by the National Action on Sugar Reduction in Abuja. According to the Customs boss, the service had commenced taxing companies that produce sugar-sweetened beverages on the 1st of June 2022. The policy was introduced in the Finance Act, which was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari on December 31st, 2021, alongside the 2022 Appropriation Bill. Well, we'll take a break now and return with a review of the stock market. The NGX was able to hold on to the fourth day of gains as it closes the week on a positive note. The all-share index rose by 0.17%, definitely lower than yesterday but still in the positive territory, and the market grew by another 46 billion naira at the close of trading. However, the volume of trade was about 30% down from yesterday and value hitting a 37% decline in over 4,000 deals. Livestock and Red Star Arrest contributed to the pullback on the floor of the NGX as they recorded a combined 40 kobo loss at the close of trading. On the flip side, Champion and John Alt moved up the ladder today to claim the top spot on the gainers list, and at the close of trading they recorded a combined 39 kobo increase. Anyways, baby steps if you ask me, and the NGX may end up reclaiming its 52,000 level in the coming trading week. On the foreign scene, that's the FTSE, the Dow Jones and the Nikkei are all in the positive territory. UK's FTSE rose on Friday, lifted by defensive stocks at the end of a choppy week that saw investors' anxiety over hawkish central banks, weak economic readings and heightened risk of a global recession. The Dow Jones also in the positive territory, with Wall Street up more than 2%, and the MSCI Global Index is set for a weekly gain after straight weeks of decline as sliding commodity prices eased worries about inflation, and the Nikkei in the same vein is recording 1.23% increase at the close of today's trading. That's all on stock market reports. Back to Folashade for the rest of the news.
Well, many thanks, Abisola, for that update. And on the foreign scene, the United States Supreme Court has ended the constitutional protections for abortion, which has been in place for nearly 50 years, overturning the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling that recognized a woman's constitutional right to an abortion and legalized it nationwide. The ruling hands victory to Republicans and religious conservatives who want to limit or ban the procedure as individual states states are now able to ban the procedure. Meanwhile, research from Planned Parenthood, a healthcare organization that provides abortion, says access to abortion is expected to be cut off from about 36 million women of reproductive age. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) has unveiled the official match ball for the forthcoming African Women Nations Cup WAFCON set to hold in Morocco. CAF in a statement explained that the official ball of the 2022 tournament is made of colors filled with symbols related to football and is inspired by the new visual identity of African women's football. According to the body, the ball represents the values of unity, progress, challenge, initiative, diversity, and experience that has characterized the growth of African women's football to reach the lofty heights it occupies today. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Fola Shadi. Well, great day. Bye for now.